Hey Magic fans, welcome to the Let's Talk Magic podcast game preview, otherwise known as a slice of bacon. And as you can see, today is a special edition. It's my birthday today, so I'm hoping that we see a win for the Orlando Magic to celebrate. Tonight, it's a hard challenge that awaits the Orlando Magic as the Magic welcome the Western Conference leading Timberwolves into the Kia Center. This is game number 37 for the Orlando Magic today. Back home, as we know, second game before we head out onto the road again. UK tip time is midnight, 7 p.m. in Orlando. And to watch here in the UK, you will need an active NBA League Pass subscription. So let's talk about the Magic first, as we always like to do so. That's the main team, after all, let's be honest. Record is 21-15, and we have won last two games we have played, and are 5-5 in the last 10 played. We are on a home record of 13-4, technically 13-3 on our own floor, and are currently tied fourth in the East. That's 4th through 8th. We are tied on the exact same record with Miami, Indiana, Cleveland, and the New York Knicks. Points per game, we are scoring 113.9 and conceding 111.9. So we are 2 points better per game in the scoring stakes, ranking 22nd on offence, defensively 4th. So for this preview, I just want to start by kind of talking where we were at this point last season going into game day number 37. Our record stood at 13-23. There had been 20 games decided by 10 points or less, of which 8 were wins and 13 were defeats. So far this season, we are 8 wins better off on the board already. And rather than being an almost certain lottery-bound team, we are in the mix for an automatic berth for the playoffs. We are in that mix. Equally, games that have been decided by 10 points or less, there are 20 again, of which this time round 11 are wins and 9 are losses. That's a clear improvement, and it shows that this team, even in some adversity, we've got a little bit of injury issues, we've had a hard schedule to start the season, but this team is learning how to win, and they are not fearing those clutch moments, those where games are decided by small margins. Look at the positives so far this season. We've got to be doing it. So last time out, let's talk about the game against the Atlanta Hawks. Second overtime game of the season, and it saw an undermanned Orlando team outlast, is the phrase that's being used most often I'm reading, the Atlanta Hawks, to take a home court 110-117 win. Am I convinced that we should have gone to overtime? Probably not. I think that the officials genuinely helped along a little bit. But once again, there was no stopping Paolo Banchero as he produced a show in front of Tracy McGrady and Ryan Anderson in the Kia Center. He put up another double-double of 35 points, 10 rebounds and 4 assists. He was playing the point forward role again, and genuinely showed why he has to be included in the All-Star game this season. Magic also saw a return from illness to the rotations of Anthony Black and Goga Bitadze. Making his return also was Markelle Fultz, who played 15 minutes in his first action for 27 games, or since November the 9th, whichever way you want to look at it. Goga was a machine, I felt, and he produced 11 points, 14 rebound, double-double. His rebounding on the offensive end saw him drag down 7 offensive rebounds, and that created us 1 or 2 more opportunities for scoring. Really influential. I think Muchachuma Okeke's work will go unnoticed as far as the box score goes, but his work on defence was tireless, particularly against Trae Young after Jalen Suggs had unfortunately fouled out. Someone who is having a growing influence on this team is Caleb Houston. The drafts of 2021 and 2022 netted us Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, who have all been core members of this team already, and now Caleb Houston, who got his first start of the season and produced a career best 25 points. That included going 7 of 14 from 3-point range. Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony and Moritz Wagner rounded out the double-digit scoring, and the starting unit on this one was Jalen Suggs, Caleb Houston, Chuma Okeke, Paolo Banchero and Moritz Wagner. And from the bench we saw Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, Goga Bitadze, Markel Fultz and Trevelyan Queen. Admiral Schofield was available but did not play. For tonight we have the same basic injury report, unfortunately. Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac and Joe Ingles are all confirmed out with assorted injuries. Jet Howard, he remains listed as being on a G League assignment and is not part of the squad, as is the same for Kevon Harris, who is simply listed as being out on a coach's decision. Minnesota Timberwolves leading the West, coming in with a 25-10 record. They did lose their last game and are also the same as ourselves, 5-5 in the last 10 played. They are scoring 112.9 points per game, which is 22nd in the NBA, but concede a league low 107.7 points per game. Defensively rated number 1 in the league, and on offence 19th. T-Wolves on the road, they've been strong. They've won 11 of 19 games this season. They are built on defence, particularly defence of the 3-point line, blocks and rebounding. In our pre-season look at every team, we said that for Minnesota, one of the things that they had to get was the chemistry between Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. That had to be right. And so far this season, chemistry has been a hallmark of this team, as has good health. I mean, you kind of see Cat out quite a bit, but he hasn't been. He's been available. They've benefited from good health. Gobert has been back to his exceptional best. He has an NBA best defensive rating, top 5 in every statistic of rebounding. He's also top 10 in block categories and also in field goal percentage. They have a star man, let's be honest, in Anthony Edwards. He's got 26.8 points per game. Karl Anthony Towns, as I said, is staying healthy and he's proving effective, scoring 21 points per game, rebounding strongly. Mike Conley, he is dishing out assists at a career best equaling rate so far this season, and is proving also effective on the scoring end. Naz Reid, effective scoring coming from the bench, leading the second unit in both points and rebounding. Minnesota, last time out, played January the 7th, same as the Magic, losing on the road in Dallas, 108-115. Tight game throughout, but Dallas led for 41 minutes of the 48. Minnesota were in the lead for just a total of 4 minutes. Anthony Edwards led the team, 36 points. Other significant scoring contributions were from Karl Anthony Towns with 24 and Naz Reid with 15. That was it for double-figure scoring. The starting 5, Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. From the bench, we saw Naz Reid, Kyle Anderson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jordan McLaughlin. For tonight, they only have one injury listed, which is to one of the two-way players, Geraint Clark. He's out, as are the other two-way players on G League assignment. Other than that, they are fully fit. So I expect Minnesota to go with that same starting unit as the previous game. That is their go-to unit when everybody is fit. Head-to-head, 67 regular season games played. Score stands at 24-43 to Orlando. We are in the lead on this one. Last season, the series was split, both teams taking the road game. And it has been 4 of the last 6 series that have been split. Orlando winning the other 2. The Timberwolves last won the series in 2016-17 season. So for a final thought tonight, this is far from an easy task against what is a brilliant defensive team. Against the Wolves, opponents are shooting, I'm going to read this because I want to get this right, just 44.7% from the field, and that is the second lowest figure in the league. They are also top 10 in both protecting the paint and limiting fast break points. This is going to be a very, very difficult opportunity for the Magic to take. Orlando are again on demand, and they are going to try and ride that momentum that the two thrilling wins that we've just recently had have produced. And it's beyond obvious to state that the Magic will need another all-star level performance from Paolo Banchero. Over the last 3 games, he has averaged 36.7 points per game, 8 rebounds, 6.7 assists, and 2 steals a game. Phenomenal figures. If you've enjoyed this preview, please give it a thumbs up, share it, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. It really would help us. More importantly, let's go out and get that win. I want the win for my birthday. Let's go Magic.